Listen up, folks. This is Phil Little, President and CEO of West Coast Detectives International. I'm coming at you with episode 132 of the Private Investigator Experience podcast. If you thought part one of Hidden Vectors episode left you on the edge of your seat, buckle up tighter. We're diving deeper into the shadows, where cutting edge science meets deadly secrets. A brilliant scientist vanishes without a trace. No body, no ransom, just questions that could unravel national security or expose something much more dangerous. This isn't fiction pulled from thin air. It's ripped straight from the real world patterns of missing and dead scientists tied to a sensitive project in 2025 and 2026. We're talking nuclear tech, aerospace breakthroughs, propulsion systems that could change everything. And one name that's got everyone whispering, the missing scientist at the heart of these hidden vectors. If you're new here, would you hit that subscribe button and smash that like button and turn on the notifications? Because we're out to chase weeds that the mainstream barely touches. Remember, prevention is cheaper than enforcement. But when the trail runs cold, that's where we come in. On the last episode, we laid out the chilling patterns. 10 plus experts in nuclear, aerospace, and advanced materials. They were dead under suspicious circumstances. Others just gone. A JPL materials scientist hiking in California. She had Los Alamos connections. An Air Force general with deep ties to advanced weaponry vanished days after a big announcement. Families left in the dark. The federal probes are kicking off. The online sleuths are having a day, screaming cover-ups involving UFO tech and anti-gravity or breakthrough energy weapons. But today, we zoom in on one of the missing scientists, the one whose work on hidden vectors could be the key. Well, what are hidden vectors? Think of advanced material models for propulsion, stealth tech, or vector based systems and classified research that could rewrite physics as we know it. And he's not the only one, but his case screams foul play. The story unfolds as I look at some past cases, giving them a fictional flair, and use my PI license to do a good look at some possible conclusions to the current cluster of strange deaths and disappearances. Remember, the past can tell us something about the future. Picture this. It's early 2026. Our scientist, let's call him Dr. Alex Riviera for this drama. The names and details are drawn from the real patterns, protected where needed, is deep in a federally funded lab, JPL Los Alamos. The cutting edge work on vector field theories that could power next gen rockets or high signature radar in the ways we can't even imagine. One ordinary Tuesday, he grabs his gear for what his family thinks is a routine hike or field test. Phone pings his last location, then silence. No distress call, no struggle signs. His vehicle found abandoned, doors unlocked, as if he just stepped out for a quick look around the ridge. But here's where it gets wild. Colleagues later admit, off record, Riviera was onto something big. Hidden vectors and multidimensional modeling that align with black budget projects. Whispers of breakthroughs that could disrupt entire defense industries or expose vulnerabilities. Days before he vanished, he mentioned vectors that didn't add up in a late night lab note. Coincidence? Or did someone decide those vectors needed to stay hidden? Fast forward, the FBI and House oversight gets involved. Patterns emerge from across states: New Mexico, California, Massachusetts, bodies in lakes, hikers who never return, an administrative assistant at a sensitive facility gets gone, an engineer with anti gravity family lore. This isn't random bad luck. It's a disturbing cluster that smells like targeted action, foreign agents, corporate espionage, or something inside the system cleaning house. Let's look at some thoughtful questions here. Let's do some investigation. These aren't just filler, they're the questions real PIs ask on the ground. Motive question: what exactly were these hidden vectors that Dr. Riviera and others were working on? Were they modeling propulsion systems, quantum vectors for stealth, or something that threatened powerful interest, like unlimited energy tech or materials that make current weapons obsolete? Why would that make someone a target? Well, the timeline a puzzle here. Why do these disappearances cluster in 2526? Is it tied to geopolitical tensions, Trump era announcements on advanced tech, or internal lab leaks? What changed in the funding or oversight that suddenly made these experts vulnerable? Number two, the insider angle. Did any of these scientists express fear, leave cryptic notes, have unexpected visitors or threats? In real cases, family report routine work suddenly going classified overnight. What aren't we being told about their side projects or collaborations? Number three, the cover up test. Federal probes are active, but why the slow drip of info? Are we seeing coordinated silence across agencies? Or is there genuine dead ends? Compared to past whistleblower patterns, think how historical science death can be tied to black projects. Pattern or paranoia? Four, the prevention angle. As a 50-year vet in global security, I always ask, how do we protect our best minds? Better vetting for threats? Travel security protocol for researchers? Or is the real danger from within? Leaks, jealousy, ideological sabotage. What would you do if your breakthrough could change the world and put a target on your back? Well, what's the bigger picture here? Are these hidden vectors pointing to UFO tech reverse engineering, as some online theories claim, or breakthrough physics that governments want monopolized? Your challenge here to help me. Drop your theories in the comments, but back them up with some sources. Now to another missing person from this cluster. The latest update on the recovery of Melissa Cass's body. She was another missing person from the cluster. Her body was found almost a year after she vanished, and it is causing concerns about the dragging of the feet of the investigators. I did some deep dive into this, and this was a post I found by a friend of the victim, and I quote, I've heard the conversations between Lieutenant Yardman, he's with the New Mexico State Police, and Melissa's sister. And it is appalling how Yardman makes excuse after excuse for why they have not looked at timely information. She went on to say, makes your department look bad, sir. Someone over there with some sense needs to take charge of this investigation in order to give the family the answers they seek. If certain individuals were not acting shady from day one, there would not be such lingering questions as to how Melissa ended up where she did. Please take the family's concern seriously. End of quote. Let's look at the facts again. Melissa Casillas, a 53-year-old administrative assistant at Los Alamos National Laboratory in New Mexico. She was reported missing almost a year ago on June 26, 2025. Her skeletal remains were discovered by a hiker on May 28, 2026, in the McCaffrey Ridge area of the Carson National Forest. It's roughly, they're saying, 10 miles from her home near Taos, New Mexico. They were positively identified by authorities in late May as being the remains of Melissa. Let's look at some key details from the recent reports from the police. A handgun was found near the remains, which described as skeletonized and propped up against a tree. Some reports mention a gunshot wound to the head, but that's never been confirmed. The cause and manner of death. Is it suicide, homicide, or other? And that has not been officially determined. Investigators by the New Mexico State Police and the Office of the Medical Investigators have an ongoing investigation. Well, what is causing questions from families and others is the area where she was found, which was searched extensively after her death, and she was not found at that time. Was she there then, or was she placed there later? That's the big question. Unanswered. And apparently, the police aren't moving quickly to determine if that was the case. Another question is where she was found. 10 miles from her home, when she was last seen, she was walking. Was it conceivable that she walked the 10 miles and then shot herself? At the time of her disappearance, she had left personal belongings behind, including phones, that were reportedly wiped or factory reset, and her car was still at the house. She was last seen walking southbound on State Road 518 after dropping off lunch for her daughter. Now, as I looked at this, with her walking southbound on New Mexico 518, it's also part of the high road to Tahoe Scenic Byway and the Talapa Ranchos de Tacos area on, this was June 26, 2025. Now, the details on this route. I did a deep dive into where Melissa was last seen to the point where her body was found. Now, New Mexico 518, it connects to FR 437, Rio Cachito Road. It turns off of New Mexico 518, where Melissa was walking, into Calipa, roughly 2+ miles southeast through the area from central Ranchos de Tavos. If she continued southbound on 518 from where her last known sighting was, she could have reached or turned into this access road shortly after where she was seen. Now, this discovery site is reachable via road, which leads into the forest toward areas like Garcia Park. Following the Rio Conchito in places, they have streams crossing it. It's a very rugged, mountainous part of the Carson National Forest. A few miles from the highway, and according to my calculations, it's roughly 6 miles from her home, not 10 that's in the public reports. Her case has drawn attention as part of a broader pattern of mysterious deaths, disappearances, involving U.S. scientists, lab workers, and contractors tied to sensitive government research, nuclear, aerospace, etc. She was the second Los Alamos linked person to disappear in 2025. There was another with the man was named Anthony Chavez. As of the latest reports, around June 12, 2026, the investigation continues with no final ruling on foul play. No arrest or additional major updates have been publicly announced. Now, as I end this episode, I'm going to go back to Dr. Riviere. The trail is still ice cold. But we've got fresh leads in this episode from public records, family statements, and PI insights that the feds might have overlooked. Is he alive, working under a new identity, or did the hidden vectors claim another victim? Tune in next time for part three. We'll simulate the raid, chase the money, and expose the network. If you're in the security game, a researcher, or just love real world thrillers like I do, this series is for you. Would you help me? Share this with a friend who loves true crime or national security deep dives. Subscribe on YouTube, leave a 5-star review, and leave your comments on any of the platforms, or you can email me at pi777 at gmail.com. Prevention saves lives, folks. Stay vigilant. Thank you for watching and listening. Your comments and thoughts are important to me. Please leave them on any of the platforms or email me at pi777 at gmail.com. If you have an issue in your business or family and wonder, can a PI help me? Send me a summary of that to pi777 at gmail.com. I will review and I will get back to you. Remember, knowledge is your best tool to prevent yourself from becoming a victim. Be safe. May God bless you, your family, and may God bless America.